There's something curious, even mysterious, that not even he can explain. Why does his gaze linger longer when you walk into the room? Why does your silence speak louder than 100 filtered selfies? He doesn't fully understand it himself, but deep down, something in him is drawn, almost magnetically, to the quiet confidence of a woman who's lived, who no longer seeks validation, who doesn't play games because she's already mastered them. You don't chase, you don't perform, you simply are. And that is what makes him lean in. It's not about looking younger. It's not about pretending to be what you were at 25. It's about becoming someone even more captivating because of everything you've already been. And while the world may whisper, he's too young for her, he thinks to himself, she sees me, she gets me, and I don't want to look away. So the real question isn't why he is drawn to you. It's whether you are ready to own that power. In this series, we're unlocking it, one truth at a time. It's not just the way you walk into a room. It's the way you carry yourself, like you don't need to be seen. And yet somehow, all eyes find you. You don't fidget. You don't rush to fill silence. You're not afraid of pauses, because you've learned that silence can speak louder than words. Young women often seek to be chosen. They ask, am I good enough? But you ask, is he? That shift in mindset, it's magnetic. You see, younger men are used to chaos. They're used to texting games, hot and cold behavior, and emotional roller coasters. They expect to be chased or to do the chasing, but when they meet you, something is different. You're calm, not because nothing shakes you, but because you've already been through the storms. You've already survived the heartbreaks, the doubts, the messy entanglements. And now, you've found your center. That calm, it doesn't bore him. It grounds him. Because in a world full of noise, you feel like peace, and peace is unforgettable. Then there's the lack of drama. You don't explode to get attention. You don't need to win every argument. You know when to speak, and when to simply walk away. He doesn't know why, but he finds himself chasing that serenity. He starts wondering what you're thinking, why you didn't reply right away, why your absence feels heavier than someone else's presence. It's not a strategy. It's just who you are now. And maybe that's what surprises him the most. You don't try to be confident. You are confident. You don't need approval. You don't seek permission to take up space. You exist fully in your own body, in your own energy. And that kind of quiet feminine power, it humbles him. You're not loud, but you are unforgettable. Because what he feels around you, he hasn't felt before. Maybe he doesn't understand it yet. Maybe he can't put it into words. But he knows this much. He doesn't just want to touch your skin. He wants to understand your soul. And that's something no amount of youth can compete with. But here's the question that keeps him up at night. Who is she when no one is looking? In the next part, we'll explore exactly that. The fine line between being a nurturing presence and becoming the woman he can't stop desiring. Not a mother, not a peer, but something he didn't know he needed. There's a line, so thin, so subtle, that many women cross without even knowing. The line between nurturing and mothering, between holding space and holding control, between loving him and trying to fix him. You see, he doesn't need another mother. He doesn't need someone to lecture him, remind him, or organize his life like a to-do list. He already had that growing up. What he's looking for now is something entirely different. He wants a woman who lets him rest, not in her lap, but in her presence. Someone whose energy says, "You're safe here. You don't have to pretend with me." Not because she's solving his problems, but because she isn't another battlefield. She's the calm after the storm. A mother nurtures through control. She tells you what to do, what not to do, how to be better. But a mature lover? She nurtures through acceptance, through presence, through soft, steady eyes that say, "You're enough, even with the armor off." She doesn't tell him where to go. She walks beside him while he finds the path himself. That difference is magnetic. Because here's what most people forget. Even the strongest men crave surrender, not to a woman who demands it, but to one who evokes it, quietly. He's not looking for someone to carry his burdens. He's just looking for a place to lay them down. And that place is not built from control or caretaking or sacrifice. It's built from stillness, from deep emotional safety, from the soft edges of a woman who knows who she is and doesn't need to fix anyone else. That's what draws him in. Not because she's perfect, but because she doesn't need him to be perfect either. And when he realizes that he can be vulnerable, messy, unsure, and still deeply wanted, something shifts inside him. He stops performing. He stops pretending. He starts showing up. Because she doesn't demand love, she invites it. And in that invitation, she becomes unforgettable. Everyone assumes it's about youth. That younger men chase younger women because of tight skin, fast lives, and endless energy. But if you really look closely, quietly, you'll see something else behind their eyes. They're not just chasing youth. They're chasing something they haven't felt yet. A woman who doesn't need to be the loudest in the room. A woman who doesn't need constant attention to feel worthy. A woman who sees them before they even speak. Younger women often bring excitement, yes, but also expectations, performances, comparisons, pressure. Be this, prove that, respond fast, keep up, impress me. But a mature woman, she brings space. She brings the kind of depth that doesn't ask, "Do you like me?" She asks, "Do you like yourself when you're with me?" And that, right there, is the shift. Because the truth is, he's not looking for someone who stimulates him for a night. He's looking for someone who awakens him for a lifetime. And no, it's not about being older. It's about being anchored, being whole, with or without him. That kind of energy, it's not age, it's frequency. And it creates something rare. A space where he doesn't have to impress, doesn't have to pretend, doesn't have to chase validation. He can just be, and still feel deeply wanted. He may not have the words for it. But when he's with you, he feels understood. Not because you agree with everything, but because you listen from a place of knowing. A place of, I've been there too. So, maybe what he's searching for isn't a fresh face or the thrill of the new. Maybe it's a woman whose soul feels like home, whose voice quiets the noise, whose energy tells him, you don't have to prove anything here. And when he finds her, he knows. Because for the first time, he's not running. He's staying. So here's the deeper truth. What he's drawn to isn't your age. It's your essence. The way you make him feel without trying. The way you see through him. And love him anyway. And in the final part of this episode, we'll bring it full circle. Because you don't need to be younger to win his heart. You just need to become deeper. Let's talk about how to do that. Without games. Without performance. Just pure feminine power. So maybe now you understand. It was never really about looking younger. It was about feeling seen, feeling safe, feeling something real. And when a younger man feels that from you, he doesn't care how old you are. He cares how he feels in your presence, because depth is rare, and you carry it without even trying. But here's the next question. What if you could walk into any room, and without saying a word, he can't take his eyes off you? Even with younger, louder, flashier women all around, he's drawn to you. Not because of what you wear, not because of your age, but because of something he can't explain. A presence, a gravity, an energy. That's what we're unlocking in the next episode. Queen energy. Not the kind that demands attention, but the kind that commands it. Quietly, powerfully, without force. It's not about being intimidating. It's about being undeniable. The kind of woman who doesn't beg for affection, because affection naturally moves toward her. The kind of woman whose silence feels louder than someone else's screams. The kind of woman he remembers. So if you're ready to stop chasing and start attracting from a place of pure feminine magnetism, join me in the next episode. We'll go beneath the surface. We'll awaken what's already inside you. And we'll step into the kind of power that makes him wonder, who is she? And why can't I stop thinking about